told one of my subscribers that the whole business of the Hamas war and Israel was starting to really get me down. And so I thought today I'd stay off that subject just to give myself a rest. So I'm looking at the Telegraph here, and what do I see? Netanyahu warns Hezbollah against new war front. US tells Sunak to ban Iran's terrorist forces. That's got him told. Met police chief summoned by ministers for allowing jihad chant at Palestine rally. BBC's deep-rooted prejudice is a danger to British Jews, warns ex-boss. It's a danger to everyone. But yeah, all right, the Jews are first in that queue. Colleagues left appalled by top doctor's comments on Israeli response to Hamas attacks. Israel destroys terrorist cell hiding in West Bank mosque. Harley Street doctor compares Israel to Nazis. And Hamas wants to fight in the city. And then rally to free Israeli hostages to be held in London. I want to find something a little more relaxing. Well, a major search after a man goes overboard from a cruise ship. An Iranian girl brain dead after morality police beating. And University of Cambridge Library blacklists harmful books in a decolonisation drive. At last! Something that doesn't involve the Middle East. Should we go with that? I'm granniopteryx. Okay, so the University of Cambridge distinguishes itself in identifying harmful books. My question is, how do you identify a harmful book? Yeah, I know it's a big mug here. I like my coffee. It says here that they're going to blacklist harmful books, but they don't say who's going to be deciding on that. For instance, I might reckon that the Quran is harmful. Are they going to blacklist that? Somebody else might reckon that the Bible is harmful. You'll find a few people objecting to that being blacklisted, but both of those religious texts contain things that many people would consider harmful. Anyway, but no, the University of Cambridge, in its godlike knowledge, its divine ability to sort the wheat from the chaff, that can do this job, and I'm assuming that it won't try to stop the Quran or even the Bible, although that might come later. The University Library, one of just 6 legal deposit libraries in Britain with some 10 million books, asking lecturers to flag problematic books that might be offensive / harmful. You see, so it can be offensive / harmful. That in itself is interesting, because offensive is not strictly harmful, and harmful might not be offensive. For instance, if they had a cookbook that relied mostly on fat and sugar, I could make an argument that the content in there is harmful. It's going to hurt people, especially those with a tendency to diabetes. So I could say that book's harmful, but it's certainly not offensive. Right. Any book discussing maybe sexually transmitted diseases and the ways that these diseases can be contracted, that can be quite offensive, really, to people of a delicate disposition. But since they're medical books, they're not going to be harmful in as much as they're discussing how to identify such diseases so that they may be cured or prevented from spreading. Examples of such books are being sought from across the university's colleges. So Basically, what the college is doing, what the university is doing here, is inviting mob rule. It's saying to everybody on the campus, look, if you find a book harmful or offensive, harmful, or even harmful offensive, then you should write in and let us know, just like people did during the Stasi years in East Germany when they denounced their neighbours, or in Nazi Germany. Oh, it's funny how it's Germany all the time. That's another matter. They would denounce their neighbours because they were being offensive / harmful with regard to political beliefs or even religious beliefs. Yeah? It's triggered a backlash from Dons. What a surprise. Now, aren't you shocked? Dons have a backbone. Well, some of them anyway, who've demanded that Cambridge librarians stop sitting in judgment. Right. Well, don't the Dons sit in judgment? Aren't they the ones who are pushing their political beliefs? There's a Don, a professor in one of the colleges. Now, which one was it? Churchill, I think? I don't remember. But I dealt with her a few months ago, really. And she was talking about, how white men are horrible. I mean, she was saying worse things about them. And she was certainly being harmful / offensive, one or the other. Take your pick. And nobody shut her up. But then, of course, she was harmful / offensive-ing to the right people, so they didn't mind. In a memo sent to college librarians, seen by the Telegraph, so they're telling us they've seen this isn't a rumour, like the BBC and their hospital bombing stories. The University Library said, we would like to hear from colleagues across Cambridge about any books you have flagged to you. You had flagged to you as problematic. So that means students, like Muslim students, might have flagged, the Bible or I don't know what, Portnoy's complaint as being offensive / harmful. And these professors are being invited to turn that in to University Library to tell them that they've been flagged. Sorry, fuel. This is very academic, don't you think? This is libraries asking people to write in to tell them of books that other people have told them have triggered them or in some way. And then they were going to be careful or put it on a back shelf or misplace it or miscategorize it. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. The memo also called for anything you are already doing in your library to address this or similar issues. So if you're not doing something, you're a bad guy. Yeah? Or a bad girl. Or a bad indeterminate. One of those to pass on the message to Dons was Pembroke College, who told staff in an email on Tuesday, the University Library is currently compiling examples of offensive, harmful books. Offensive / harmful. Does that mean they've got to be both offensive and harmful, or just one or the other? Because the grammar on that's not particularly precise either, is it? And has asked me to circulate this. The intention is to put together some guidance for supporting librarians obliged to work with such materials. Oh, for goodness sake. So, if a librarian finds, like, Fanny Hill, maybe, or... and I'm interrupting myself to remind you to click the like button. I'm granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds, also Twitter and Gab. All the links are in the description, including links to donation sites. I'm very grateful for donations, but I'm even more grateful if you just click the like, because that's what makes the video go further and improves the distribution of my channel. Okay, back to the library. Oh, that book by D.H. Lawrence about the gamekeeper? Blimey, what's it called? Anyway, you know which book I'm talking about. If librarians find it, yeah, like they're religious Catholics or religious Muslims or religious Jews, and they find it icky to handle such books, they should flag them up as being offensive, harmful. Maybe we could make it easier for them. How about harmsive? Or maybe offendful? That's just quick, like newspeak, where they cut down the vocabulary a bit. So offensive and harmful means the same thing. Yeah? It's understood that many have already sent an example. Oh, really enthusiastic, aren't they, about problematic books, including one by an ethnic minority author, but the library refused to reveal which ones when asked by the town. Now, here we have something interesting. The library wouldn't tell the Telegraph what book has been flagged as farmful. No. There's got to be a funnier word out of that. As I'm talking, maybe I'll think of it. Offensive, harmful. How about just arseful? Yeah, that'll do. Anyway, it's a big secret, isn't it? It's now a big secret. They're going to flag up books and sort of set them on one side, burn them perhaps. Where have I heard that happening before? Anyway, and they're going to do that, and then they're not going to tell you which ones they are. Where are these people's brains? Professor David Abulafia, a leading historian at Gonville and Keys, said, identifying books because they're seen as problematic itself has a very problematic history. Witness bibliographies in the Nazi period where books by Jewish authors are marked with a star. Yeah, he says it would undermine the library's reputation. Look, most academic institutions in this country, and no doubt elsewhere in the West, they have very little reputation left to undermine. It is absolutely not the task of librarians to sit in judgment, least of all in a university where they don't do any of the teaching and where it is vital to promote free debate. That's nonsense. Just because the librarians don't do the teaching, that's not the point. The point is, it is not the task of librarians to sit in judgment. If the university gets books, then it's the librarian's job to dish them out whenever they're requested, to have them well curated on their shelves, and to be careful in how they handle them and how they know and knowing who has what book at any given time. Dr. James Orr, a lecturer in divinity at Cambridge, said, research libraries should not be joining the culture wars. Well, yeah, that's a statement of the bleeding obvious, isn't it? What else do we have here? A Cambridge University of Library spokesman said, Cambridge University libraries do not censor, blacklist or remove content unless the content is illegal under UK law. So if they don't do that, why is that circular going round? Why are they asking people to, give the black spot to books? A spokesman added that the library proactively acquires a vast range of material. No, just acquires a vast range of material. You don't need the word proactively, regardless of subject matter. And we engage in dialogue. For good, no wonder they want to ban books. These are people who have never read a book. Just look at the cut and paste. These are people who only know cut and paste vocabulary. If you read books, you don't come up with stuff like that. I don't know what spokesman added. Yeah, the person who speaks, not the person who reads. Excuse me. All right, well, there you are. That's my video for the day, in which I am hardly talking about the Middle East. Isn't that nice? Okay. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or granbow with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.